138 Openings of Wisdom by the Ramchal. This is Opening 31, Part 3, and the English Gematria words today that equal 138 are the words Gematria is here. Gematria is here. Gematria has a numerical value of 74, has a numerical value of 28, and here has a numerical value of 36. If you add those together, if you add 74, 28, and 36, that will equal 138. Let me check that just to make sure with my Gematria calculator. And yep, that's correct. Gematria is here, and it's here to stay. But Gematria is here equals 138, and this is part 3 of the opening 31, which is Adam Kadmon, and God willing, we shall finish this today. Standing in the form of 10 Sefirot, even though all that exists is only 10 Sefirot, many individual aspects can be discerned within each and every Sefirah by itself. They are not all the same as one another. Each one, depending on its individual purpose, has its own individual levels. Accordingly, all the other trees correspond to the individual levels of the various Sefirot, depending on the level from which any given tree derives. However, the tree of the name of Havaya, blessed be He, is the mystery of all 10 Sefirot together for their collective purpose under the number 10. In this aspect, we do not take into account individual levels of the Sefirot. Rather, each Sefirah with all its levels is considered as only one, so that altogether they make exactly 10. The general pathway of all their arrangements or institutions, tikkunim, literally repairs, depends on this number through the mystery of the return of evil to good. All man's service depends on this matter of the 10 Sefirot, and therefore everything involved in the Sefirot goes only on the basis of 10, with all that depends on this. Thus the 10 Sefirot are 10 individual kinds of government, each different from the others, but the general law that brings them all together to serve one purpose is that the overall 10 Sefirot that constitute Adam Kadmon. It could be objected that the sum of a given number of particulars is not inherently bound up with their intrinsic essence, but is merely contingent upon the fact that this many particulars together make up this number. If so, it would seem that the tree of the name of Havaya, which is the order of the 10 Sefirot, would be of no consequence in the individual Sefirot themselves, and would not determine the quality of the Sefirot and of the details under it. To answer this objection is that the 10 Sefirot constitute the entire essence of the laws of government, yet at the same time, the actual government emerges only from the particular way in which these laws are applied. Sometimes the government follows one law with all its particulars, sometimes a different law with all its particulars. Since each Sefirah is one law of government containing many individual details, depending on the quality of that Sefirah, the particulars are very many. However, there are times when we make general use of all the laws together in their entirety without taking account of the particulars. Thus, all the Sefirot together enter into the overall government, which uses all of them together for the purpose of God's unity to bring the creation to the ultimate perfection. The significance of the number 10 lies in the fact that here all the Sefirot are together for one purpose. Thus, there are two kinds of numbers: the individual number of each Sefirah and the overall number of 10. When we follow the individual pathway of any given Sefirah, the number of lights will be whatever that particular Sefirah gives, and all the laws of government contained in those lights go accordingly. These are the trees that we have mentioned. Each of the individual orders is called a tree. However, the overall action comes about through all the 10 Sefirot entering in together in this quorum of 10, and the government goes according to what this number gives in accordance with its intrinsic nature. Quite the reverse of the objection, having seen that this law was laid down first, that there should be 10, we may infer without doubt that this is the most general and necessary number, for they have to be this many, no less and no more, and arranged precisely in this order, just as they are, in accordance with the number 10. What's interesting is that 10 has a numerical value of 39. And according to Rabbi Toya Singer, the word Mashiach is mentioned in Tanakh and the Old Testament, the Jewish Bible, 39 times. So is there a connection between the English number 10, the amount of times it says Mashiach in the Tanakh, and the number of words in the Torah portion of the Shiluach HaKen, sending away the bird, as mentioned in Parshat Ki Teitzei? Is there a connection between those things? 39 also equals Hashem Echad, God is one, in accordance with the number 10. English is actually now transferring over to Hebrew in Gematria. All the individual details are automatically included in this number, and thus we may understand what each one of them causes and contributes as part of this general law. And we will understand the general repair that arises through this path in the proper way. Thus, the number 10 is not accidental. It is not by chance that the sum of all the particulars is the number 10. And I know that 10 is also net. And net catches fish. On the contrary, the number 10 is the root of the overall government, which brings all the Sefirot to a common purpose, arranged in the likeness of man. The overall order goes not only on the basis of the number 10, but on the basis of 10 in all the orders of their different states and individual details. This is called the likeness of man, Demut Adam. The number 10 signifies the form in which man is made, which divides up on the basis of 10. For these orders can all be explained in accordance with the likeness of man, for they actually correspond to the human form in all its particulars. Indeed, they are the actual cause of the human form in all its particulars. They are even the cause of the very name Adam, inasmuch as they unfold in a certain order, which is called Adam, the name of Havaya, in which the constituent letters are spelled out in full with olives, equaling 45 is Adam. This is Shem Ma. This expansion of the name consists of 10 letters. Oh, and also the thought came to mind is 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 equals 10. That's how Havaya connects with 10. This expansion of the name consists of 10 letters, Yet they are all included in 4, namely the 4 simple letters, which make 10 when they are filled. It is through all these pathways that this tree is understood in all its laws. And this first order is the likeness of man. It is called Adam Kadmon. Part 2. This is the order of the name of Havaya, blessed be he forever and ever. As I have written above in connection with the trees, this is the tree of this holy name. It continues unfolding in accordance with the intrinsic nature of its letters in the same order in which they appear in the name and the mystery of 10 and the mystery of 4. Again, I'm seeing something in English Gematria. 10 is 39 and 4 is 60. 39 and 60 is 99. Mevi Goel. Mevi is 59 and Goel is 40. That equals 99. 10 and the mystery of 4 is discussed above. As to the significance of the letters themselves, the Yud is Arik Anpin, the cusp, and Abba, the main body of the Yud. The first Hey is Ima, the Vav is Zeir Anpin, and the second Hey is Nukva. In this order and in the mystery of the 4 expansions, the Yud corresponds to Ab, which is 72, or Av, it's Ayin Bet, 72. The first Hey corresponds to Sag, 63. The Vav is to Ma, 45, and the second Hey is to Ban, which is 52. See opening 22, introductory note. In sum, all that exists is founded on the mystery of this name and upon the mystery of these letters of which it consists. This means that all the different orders and laws are all drawn after and come under the order of these 4 letters. This is not one particular pathway, but rather the general path, which includes everything that exists in the Sefirot and Sefirot in all their details, which brings everything under its order. For although the actions through which God governs the world are rooted in many different kinds of governmental pathways through the mystery of the various different names, the actions are only actualized through this order of the 4 letters of Havaya, which direct the other names and forms of address. Thus, it is this order that directs all the various orders and is the root of all the actions that come about. The governmental order of the 4 letters of Havaya is built of various conditions and divisions. It is built of various different names and forms of address, which constitute the details of the government. All are ordered in the proper order, for when they stand in the proper order, the actions go forth on all sides from the place from which they must emerge. This too is like the soul and the body. The other names are the limbs of the body, while this name is like their soul, and the whole intention must be to hold by this soul so that it will actualize the actions of the body. In accordance with this order, the teachings of the Kabbalah always trace everything to the underlying foundation of the 4 letters of the name, blessed be he. This is a very important and necessary principle in the study of this wisdom, because we always speak in terms of the 10 Sefirot, yet there are many Kabbalistic teachings that appear to contradict one another. The main thing is to understand is that the various levels divide up in many different ways and into many details, depending on what is required for the action that they have to execute. The division is not made on the basis of the 10 Sefirot in general, but according to the particular nature of the action in question. However, since everything must be included under the order of the likeness of man, which is the mystery of the 10 Sefirot, Accordingly, each division, as soon as it is made, is arranged in the order of 10 sefirot. However, this is not the basis of the division. The details of individual actions are arranged in accordance with their particular roots, yet at the same time they are also arranged in the order of the 10 sefirot. This, however, is not the essential order of their individual actions, which depends upon their unique functions. Thus, the division is based on the other factors and on the particular roots that are relevant. Yet, it is arranged in accordance with the order of the 10 sefirot, which is the order of the 4 letters of Havaya, blessed be He, and the 4 expansions of the name, for it is all one matter, as we have already discussed. From this, you can understand that if those very lights themselves need to divide up in other ways, different from the first division, those other divisions are also arranged according to the order of the 10 sefirot, but they are then described differently. For example, what was at first under Sag can now come under Ab, or under Ma, or under Ban, for its appropriate place depends on the division in question. Thus, the Nikudim are under Ban, even though they are branches of Sag. The end of the matter is that since the order of the name, blessed be He, is the general order that holds sway over all the different divisions and orders in the universe, we may infer that the actions have 2 roots. One lies on the particular level involved according to the individual root of the action in question. The other lies in the way they are arranged under the name of Havaya, which is their general root. These 2 roots are not at all parallel in their function. Rather, all the new divisions that come into being through the power of particular levels are all included in and come under this general order. Let me give you an example. We say that the musical notes, vowels, crowns, and letters correspond respectively to the 4 expansions of Ab, Sag, Ma, and Ban. This is not to say that they themselves actually come from there, for if that were so, various different teachings, particularly in the works of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, would be completely contradictory and could only be reconciled with a forced solution. The main thing to understand is that all 4 kinds of arrangements or institutions, tikkunim, literally repairs, the letters are the actual lights of the government of Zeir and Nukva, which emerge from Ima. As to the vowels and the crowns, through the crowns, which are attached to the letters and written in the Torah scroll, Ima hovers over the letters as a source that does not separate from them even after their emergence. And through the vowels, Ima governs the letters, for the vowels govern the letters. The musical notes are institutions that come for the sake of complete government from the side of Chachma, Abba. Once things are divided up in this division, they are immediately bound together under the order of the 4 expansions of the name as discussed above. The same way of resolving apparent contradictions applies in the case of the lights of the ear, the nose, the mouth, and the eyes. In one place it says that they are the 4 letters of the name of Havaya. According to this, the ear is Yud, the nose is Hey, the mouth is Vav, and the eyes are the last Hey, Zi'et Chaim, Shar Ozen, Chotem, Peh, 4, 18a, and Drushe Nikudot, 8, 34b. We find that the ear, nose, and mouth are all only the first Hey of the name. For example, Sag, that's in Drushe Nikudot, 8, 34b. The apparent contradiction is resolved through understanding that the divisions are according to the need. Thus, on the level of the particular, the ear, nose, mouth are the category of Sag, the first He. Yet all the different divisions are arranged under the order of Havaya, blessed be He, and thus, in general, the ear, nose, mouth, and eyes divide up according to the 4 letters of Havaya. We have thus now reached this order of the likeness of man. Everything we will be discussing from this point on follows the order that develops in accordance with what is inherent in this Adam Kadmon. We must therefore always speak in terms of the likeness of man. This is the basis for all of the Kabbalistic teachings relating to the levels from Adam Kadmon onwards. The entire government is explained on the basis of the secret of the likeness of man. The likeness of man is the foundation of the government of the universe.